God, will you stop with that? You fucking Instagram, dude. That makes no sense. My thumb's on the other goddamn side of the screen. I hate it. Paste, post.
Paste, post.
Okay.
About the camera, check for update. Version firmware up to date. Yeah.
Cool.
What is anti-flicker?
I have no idea. I've never touched that before.
It's automatically on, so save, I guess.
Welcome to the live stream. If anyone's in here early,
Is it still jittery? I still think
it just doesn't look as good as mine for some reason. I don't know why.
Maybe it's the lighting.
Possibly.
Now it's bright.
That's fine.
They're so funny.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Dr. Witch Hunter, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, see, now it's working. You fucks. All right, you ready?
Chat overlay. Perfect. Let me click record. Record. Good to go.
Recording.
In progress.
All right. Here we go, guys.
Do you want it?
Oh, because I can have it.
Because I can order it 3 to 5 business days. Oh, good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squad be back.
You don't have the Amazon Prime one-day delivery on that special goodness?
You know, I'm a stickler. I don't like paying different things. Like I'm maybe idiotic, but I'm a frugal idiot. I don't pay for Amazon Prime, and so when I order stuff, I still click. You have to, it defaults to like a $10 charge or whatever the fuck you're buying. But I always go in there, change it, and say no, free shipping, and it 9 times out of 10 still shows up in 2 days.
Really?
Yep. It'll literally send me an email and say, "Hey, your stuff's shipping early." It's like, "Hey, wow, great."
I feel like the majority of people do have Prime, so it's probably more work for them to send shit out a day later than everyone else.
They just want to, they're just trying to ship it out. They don't. There's no point to waiting. If they've got it, they want to ship it out. That's how they make money.
They go hard, dude.
So, yeah,
Amazon, it's insane.
It is a ridiculous thing.
They got a whole truckload of shit at our apartment every day. There's new stuff. It's insane. They got too much going on over there. And now they're coming out with the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No, it's I know we have a group chat with a couple of the local freaks. And you guys had shared that, and I hadn't sat down and watched it. And I sat down and watched the trailer this morning, and I was like, for something that I'm mildly into, like I enjoy Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to bash on it. It's just it never, like, I don't know. It was never quite there for me. But like when I watched this trailer, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, they're taking it really seriously.
Well, and that's
like I was watching a retrospective on Lord of the Rings, the movies, because there was just 20 years of Fellowship. Came out 20 years ago, last Christmas, like 2 months ago. So I was watching a retrospective, and it was such a feat of filmmaking and storytelling that will probably never happen again, because the stars had to align. They got approved to do 3 movies at once. It was the biggest budget for any movie at the time. CGI was just good enough that they could film it. They did the whole thing in New Zealand. Like, so many things just happened to cross paths, like, just to make it perfect. And then they were kind of comparing it to The Hobbit, when we've shit all over that, obviously, many times. It was just a CGI fuckfest.
I feel like The Hobbit's trilogy gets a lot of hate that I don't think it was up to the par of the original 3, but I would never be like, God, that was awful. Of course, I've only seen like the last one, the 5 Armies one. I think I've only seen it once.
Well, we saw it, and then we did a podcast like the day after, and we just decimated it.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But that's actually a fair point. I haven't not rewatched them in a long time. So I could be totally wrong here as well. But when you look at it in comparison, I feel like you can tell it's not. You could never recreate the scenario of making Lord of the Rings in the first place.
Yeah.
But I feel like it didn't get the same kind of like care and attention. The Hobbit did not compared to the original. So I feel like it looks at least like Amazon is doing things right with the Rings of Power. I mean, I think it was Shinobi shared in our group chat a couple months ago. It was like every episode is like $1 million budget, which is insane for a show.
Yeah.
So it looks legit.
Daryl in the chat here says the animated Hobbit from when he was a kid was great. In my mind,
it was like a late 70s.
I don't know if that was if I knew if that was a thing. I'm looking at.
I didn't either.
Hobbit.
I mean, well, I did. I didn't until like a couple years ago. I was scrounging around YouTube and I saw like animated Frodo Baggins or Bilbo Baggins. One of those Baggins.
Cartoon. 1977. Oh, it was a film?
77, man. It was like that and Star Wars. Right at the same time.
Was it a film? Oh,
yeah, it was an animated
weird.
Film. Yeah.
In my head, when I know you probably, I was already searching. In my head, I thought, oh yeah, just like a fun like series cartoon. Not an animated film. I gotta watch this. This looks extremely 70s.
I'm gonna pull up your screen because I have the power to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this looks very dated.
Wait, that's my screen. Never mind.
This looks very dated, and to be honest, Bilbo Baggins looks like a pudgy little kid. But whoa, he's got furry feet.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of what they looked like back then.
That's just what humans look like. So,
but to your point, I have not rewatched The Hobbit since they all came out. I think I watched the first one like 3 times, but the other 2 I just watched once in theaters, and I had a bad feeling about it. So,
the Daryl saying the war at the end of the movie was dots, like circles on the screen, so they just fought spheres.
More true to the book, I guess, than Legolas jumping up a collapsing like bridge of stone. That's just the one thing that I remember. It's like all the blocks are falling, and he's like elf prancing up all of them, like as they're collapsing. It's like little Superman action there.
Little super.
Like elves are, they're better than humans at almost everything, but they're not like superheroes.
Well, maybe Legolas is the best of them all.
From a certain point of view.
Wow. Yeah,
so,
it's got that what's the Dinosaurs thing from the 80s? Land Before Time.
Land Before Time, yeah.
It's got that type of vibe if you guys look up the Hobbit stuff. Yeah. But yeah, as far as the new trailer, wow, it felt like you said, it looks like they're taking it seriously. It felt dark. It felt like we were exploring a brand new area. Even though we've been almost everywhere you can imagine, it still felt like we're going somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the story of, this character getting through whatever.
Yeah.
And I assume, because I'm dumb, the big hand shaking the little hand at the end, I assume they're suggesting that's what's his face? Gandalf.
Who's his face? Oh. Yeah, see, this is where I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings, but I only go movie deep, really.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've read the books, so I know about Tom Bombadil.
What else is there, you jackass?
No, I've read
everything
I've read the 3 books. I've read the trilogy and the Hobbit. I haven't read the Silmarillion and like the fucking Atlas and
that
the
much more.
No, there's a whole library of Lord of the Rings books. Some by Tolkien and some that were like his notes that were finished by his son. There's a whole thing, a whole timeline. He wrote like almost like a Bible type book about how like the universe got created and Middle Earth got formed.
Wow.
There's so much there, and I don't know any of that stuff.
It's almost like Lord of the Rings could have become Star Wars, but it just never took off, and Star Wars took that mantle.
I think it took off.
I'm just saying as far as expansive universe and to where... Because Lord of the Rings isn't even close to Star Wars. And
I don't know.
It could have been.
It might be, and we just don't know.
Well, it isn't to me.
I mean, I know
But-
there's not like 150 books like there is with Star Wars.
I don't think it would sell for $4 billion, but
Yeah, it'd probably sell for more.
no, way less. You can't.
I don't know, man.
The toys aren't as good, man. You got to have the droids. The droids are the best. The starships. The starships. Oh yeah. Well, the Battle of the Circles.
Battle of the
I can't wait to watch that.
So what I know from my limited knowledge of pre-Lord of the Rings timeline in Lord of the Rings universe, Middle Earth universe, I don't know what you call it, Middle Earthiverse?
Middle Earthiverse. Middleverse.
Middleverse.
Middleverse. Stop.
It takes place, I think, after the rings were made, but before Sauron was defeated.
This is what the trailer. You're
I
saying?
think so. Yeah.
See, I
but
thought it
there's
said
going to
before
be a
the
couple
rings.
seasons.
I believe it said before the rings.
Okay, so
It
maybe
said
they're
before
starting
the
before
Fellowship.
they were even made.
And it said before the king.
Got
Now,
it. Okay.
the thing's called the Rings of Power, so I imagine
Yeah.
they'll be created during this story, but
Right. Yeah, it'll probably be like 4 seasons, and by the end of the 4th season, like Sauron is getting defeated by, Isildur and Elrond and everybody. So.
you think they're going to overlap then?
Well, because I'm just talking about the preview of, not the preview, the, what do you call that at the beginning?
The intro?
The preface? Is
Yeah.
that right? To the movies, to the Fellowship. It starts with her giving like a whole recount of the whole story of the ring and everything. So, they fuck Sauron up, they cut his finger off, they take the ring.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's where the show is probably going to lead up to, is that big battle. And then Sauron dies, and then we know what happens after that.
It's like overlapping with Marvel, because remember when Marvel, you go back in time and there's like actual gods fighting?
Yeah.
And there's still like superheroes and aliens, but it's like Romans against gods.
Yeah.
That's where my mind went when we're talking like Middle Earth, but a little more Hobbit-y, a little more homey.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. It's going to be fun going in with like, it'll be like me going into the MCU, I think. It's like I have limited knowledge. I know about, Spider-Man and X-Men, but I don't know the deep cuts. So you get to kind of experience it, not fully blank slate, but you are seeing a lot of stuff for the first time. So I feel like that's how I will be with all this, pre-movie territory. And I think it's like 2,000 years before the movies. So there'll be a lot of good stuff there. I'm looking forward to it.
First episode date, September 2nd.
Yeah.
Production locations, New Zealand. So they went all the way back into the mountains.
All the way back to the snow.
Good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they showed some cool stuff. It just felt right.
It did.
That's all I'll say. Like, I watched it and I was like, I could definitely watch this. I'm excited for it, even though,
Yep.
I'm a surface level Lord of the Rings fan and I enjoy them. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, for sure.
Maybe the show will get you below the surface,
Maybe or above the
surface,
if there's a
inside the surface,
Yep.
parallel to the surface. I have a thought on that actually, as it relates to Star Wars. A thought just on you saying that it looked and felt right. It seems like they're doing it right. High production value, a lot of stuff on site. I was thinking back to the Cassian Andor teaser that we got, where it was just behind the scenes footage, and I feel like that one looked like the set of a movie, whereas Mando and Boba Fett, they obviously have that new psycho like 3D LCD screen technology that they're doing a lot of stuff about.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like maybe Cassian is taking longer because it didn't use that tech. Like they actually filmed it a little more traditionally. So maybe it's going to take. Maybe that's why it's taking longer to get out. And I was also
Is that a
just
good
wondering,
thing, or what are your?
Well, I was just kind of positing if maybe that's why it's taking so long. And then I was also going to wonder if it's going to feel better. If it's going to feel higher production than like Boba Fett. We complain about the chase scene because they're filming it on like one stage and trying to pan the cameras to make it look like they're chasing each other.
Yeah, it just
it
doesn't
felt
feel.
artificial.
It doesn't feel practical, or it feels artificial.
Yeah.
And it takes me so far out of what's actually happening. Instead of me focusing on a chase scene, I'm focusing on what they tried to do
Right.
to make it look like a chase scene, which is you're taking me out of it. Yeah. Like the idea of a chase scene. Okay, fine. Like I'm not even a big chase scene fan, but okay, perfect. Put it in there.
Right.
But like I'm sitting there like just cringing at like what who said this looks good? I want to
Right.
know one person that said, "Oh man, great footage. Good
Right.
stuff."
Someone had to sign off on
Because
it.
you just keep looking and you're like,
Yeah.
Jesus. I've
I
seen
know.
bad chase scenes, but that, no joke, it's probably top 2. And I can't even think of another one that, like, I just stare at, like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, man.
I don't care anymore. You just took me all the way out of the entire episode that I don't care anymore. Yeah.
Not far enough outside to get off of Tatooine, though, unfortunately. But no, I got to thinking. I was watching. Saw some Vanity Fair photos of the Lord of the Rings show. So they had like some set photos, some characters and whatnot. And then Boba Fett obviously just ended. We'll talk about the finale tonight in the show.
Yeah.
But it just got me thinking about Cassian, why it's been like 3 years or more and it still hasn't come out. And I was just wondering, they're probably not using that same crazy LCD screen technology. I think they made it more like a movie. So maybe it will feel like leaps and bounds, like higher production over the other shows that we've seen.
I don't know.
We can only guess until it premieres. Still no date for that. We have a date for Kenobi, which was, I think, announced after Cassian.
Yeah.
And is coming out beforehand. So the day of the Boba Fett finale, they posted a poster for Kenobi. It's coming to Disney Plus on May 25th, man.
Yeah, it's it doesn't give anything away, which is
Right.
you know,
It's just him in the desert.
just Jesus in the desert.
I was going to say, yeah, it could be a goddamn cover of a Bible if you take the title off of it.
Yeah. Oh man.
You don't have any thoughts on Kenobi? Are you worried about it?
What am I, dude? The only thing I'm worried about is if they put some dog shit on the screen. It could ruin. I mean, it could really hurt my fandom. I'm gonna throw that out there because this is one that.
Shit.
So
Here we
this is the issue. You know, I was trying to wrap my head around. I'm still trying to do that with what my expectations were about Boba Fett and how they didn't meet them.
Well, we didn't have any. We kind of went insane.
Well, I felt like that. You know, Boba Fett was never my favorite character. You know, he's cool looking, but, you know, I wasn't, like, on board with the whole, yeah, he's fucking badass and everything. I was like, I don't know. You know, he just kind of looks like a dude to me.
Right.
I guess what I expected was to think differently of him. I wanted to be like, oh, I get it now. And it just didn't. It didn't strike with me. I still don't get it. It's nice to see, you know, a little bit of what he went through post the pit, but it just left me like, you know what, you could have killed him off, and I really couldn't. I wouldn't have cared. That's how I feel, and that's a weird feeling.
Here's the problem. I think they had good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just poorly executed. Is all it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I did want more of Boba Fett, and I did want to hear what happened to him after the pit, and the fact that he took a turn and he's now, you know, he had like a life-altering experience. He almost died, and then he got bonded with these Tuskens, and now he wants to make a difference. I think that's cool. I think they just, I don't know if they felt like they couldn't spend that much time with Boba Fett. Like, if this show's going to be good, we got to bring the Mando back in, right? And if that alone kind of set their intention for the show, and now they pulled focus away from the main character, and now I'm like, I love Mando, but if you had just focused on Boba Fett, maybe we would have appreciated the storyline more.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're already limiting yourself with 7 episodes, and taking 2 of those to do Mando stuff and Grogu stuff.
Right.
You're left with 5 things, and you got to build a story still. Yeah. So, and the whole first episode was him surviving. So now you're all the way down to 4 episodes to create a plot and then finish the plot.
Right.
And we're still all on Tatooine for those 4 episodes. You know what I thought at the end of it? I was like, okay. So the Pikes are savages, and they don't fuck around. They hire the best bounty hunter out there.
Yep, second best.
And they want Tatooine, and they aren't fucking around. They bombed a goddamn casino.
Right.
That was the I feel like what they did with the Pikes, I was like, okay, playing different cards, trying to get the mayor on board. They're paying him off. They're dealing with some like swoop gangs, which is kind of cool. So they put blame on them, so they don't, there's no backlash. There was like some smart ties with the Pikes. Now you look at Boba, and it was just like a jumbling mess. I feel like every smart thing that he did came from Fennec. Oh, Boba, no, we should do this instead. Oh, okay. You're like, dude, can she just run the bitch? Because that's where I'm at. Why is she still number 2? Because she's the one chasing down the savage assassins. She's the one going out and killing the Pike Syndicate herself, single fucking handedly, like Batman.
Right.
She's
Where was that
one,
in the first episode? When
she's the one making all the smart moves.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know Boba Fett's. Also, why is it called the Book of Boba Fett? I
no idea.
But seriously,
sounded cool when they
does
pitched
it though? Does it though?
It did sound cool. It didn't pan out to any sort of like book or records or anything.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of more jokingly said, oh, maybe he'll end up, the Boba Fett's guide to the hitchhiker's dicks and all the galaxy. I didn't really expect that. I just wanted it to kind of like become something like, oh, okay,
right.
We do it by the book, like something so small like that. I'm a clone. We do it by the book. Well, this is my fucking book, and it's called the Boba Fett book, bitch. I'm writing my own story.
Autobiography, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I think the only real thing missing, I think it's all in there. It's just jumbled in such a way that by the time we got to episode 7, we've forgotten about some of his character development from earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Like you get 4 episodes and then you're like, oh, it's Mando and Luke and Grogu. And that is awesome to see. That's good content. It's taken by itself. Mm-hmm. But by the time we get back to Boba Fett, it's almost just like, oh, I forgot about the Power Rangers and the Gamorreans and Chrysanthemum and all this stuff. I didn't, I think the only thing missing is him training with the Rancor. I really think if he had like a scene with the Rancor and Danny Trejo riding it, falling off, whatever, a little, even though they did a little montage, which I don't like as much in Star Wars, but one little thing of him, learning how to get back on the bike and ride.
Dude, it could have been so simple as, hey, we need to go do this. And Fennec says, no, you should probably get back to training. You're right. And then he heads down the stairs and you're like, I know where he's going. It doesn't take a lot of fucking thought. Like it just one sentence.
Yeah.
I got to get back to training. And then you hear it roar and then you span over and go to another fucking scene. It's really not that hard, guys.
Right.
But it's really difficult.
We'll add that to our applications. Filoni, Favreau, we're here. You can hire us.
That was something. Of course, I felt many different ways when I saw Boba Fett riding the Rancor on Tatooine, Mos Espa. I was like, first of all, this looks fucking badass. Second of all, it's fun. It's simply fun, like watching him ride a beast and fight droids.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. And then immediately my mind went, how long has it been? Like, has he trained at all? We haven't even
like a week.
That's beyond on a surface level, it was fun. It was cool. The poor thing got shot a lot for no reason, by its own goddamn team. Who started freaking out and just started shooting at it?
Dude,
I was so confused.
That threw me for a loop. And then Din jumped up there, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Mando's gonna ride it!" And then he instantly got thrown off.
Oh, he got chewed on for a second.
He got just for a second, but the Beskar saved him, and then Baby Grogu pulled a little Anakin and calmed him down.
Yeah.
The fact that, dude, all right, I guess we're in the finale right now. How'd you feel about Grogu coming back?
Pointless in the end episode, the last episode. I didn't understand it. The whole thing with the mechanic riding into battle with a fucking baby was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
Thing? Yeah.
I thought, what a great way to get not only yourself killed, but a fucking innocent child. Which, from a certain point of view, he's not so innocent and he's not a child. But
I had way too much of Peli at that point. She should not. She didn't need to be in the finale.
It was like the timing of it. Like Peli Pelly can be good in certain things, but we were like, oh, this is the end battle. Like, oh, the Rancor against the big droid. This is so fun. And then
Right.
you see her fucking riding in like a complete jackass, screaming about nothing, literally trying to get herself killed because she's so dumb. And I'm like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Also, where
Lots
the
of
fuck
problems.
was Slave One the whole battle?
Yeah, for a second when he said, "I'll be right back," I thought he was going to
exactly.
get Slave One.
Yep. And maybe
just
that's how they set it up.
Light those fucking things up, and then I was like, "Oh wait, the Rancor, I forgot about," because he didn't have any time fucking bonding with it or training with it.
But I mean, Fennec can fly a ship. I'm sure. Have her get behind the fucking wheel.
Well, she was off trying to do assassinations finally.
Oh,
Master
she was off,
assassin finally assassinated someone.
She was making the change. Boba Fett doesn't have the balls to kill anyone anymore.
So I'm sure there's been times in the past where we've like nitpicked whether it's continuity or it's like, well, he wasn't powerful enough in this scene, but then he all of a sudden had his powers in this scene.
Oh man!
And I try not to do that too much, but
Yeah.
I just keep going back to the episode 1 when they get ambushed outside of the casino, and I'm like, dude, where was the master assassin skills then? Like, you took out all of those Pike leaders and the mayor without even being like spotted. Like, where was any of that kind of
Wait, are you talking about
ingenuity?
Fennec then?
Yeah, both of them. Like the fact that they just walk out and, I mean, she's giving him good advice, but like, hey, put your helmet on before you walk out into a city
Step
of
one.
people that are enemies of you. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's so, they're kind of just setting him up in a particular situation just because they need the story beat. What, even if it's like out of character or if it doesn't make sense, and then the next episode they do something that kind of like counteracts it. I don't know.
It did feel, and I know the linchpin all this is, well, he was hurt most of the season, so he was in a back to tank.
But even that felt so weird.
It felt like just a flip of the switch. Like all of a sudden, boom, he's flying around, murdering everything, using knee pad rockets and shit. You're like, okay, whoa. Like, this is cool, but also, like, dude, 20 minutes ago, you were up against 5 people and you were
Right.
like, oh, we're just going to all die.
Like, even if your back hurts, you can still shoot your fucking knee rockets. Like, come on, man. It's not like you're like fucking jujitsuing these people. Like, you can still shoot them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back to tank thing was weird because, like, the first episode, we see him crawl out of the Sarlacc. And I'm thinking, like, well, maybe the Sarlacc did so much damage that he's been in the back to tank this whole time. But then he's with the Tuskens for, I don't know, a year or two.
4 years.
4 years he was with the
Something
Tuskens.
ridiculous, yeah.
So he's obviously not healing from that. And then you don't see until episode 4 that he went back into the Sarlacc pit without his armor and got acid all over him. And I just felt it was just so random why he's still in the back to tank every single day.
I don't know. That did feel like an awkward plot device. That's what I'll call it. Because I just like, I was just confused.
Like, he's already old.
Yeah,
And
it's enough.
battle
That's enough.
savaged, and he was in the Sarlacc pit twice. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really need the whole, iron lung chamber to make him feel weak.
Yeah. What was your thought on Chrysanthemum? Like, I felt like he was a badass. Then he got shot the fuck up and was limping, and all of a sudden he was a badass again. And then he got
Dude.
stabbed with a fucking axe. Then he was a
Yeah.
badass again. You're like, whoa, is he hurt or not?
It's just more editing problems because he first gets jumped on by like
Oh, yeah.
12 Trandoshans.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he shows up and he's like, oh, I forgot about Chrysanthemum. And then, yeah, you're right. He gets shot and then he's limping. And then the next scene, he's like clawing people. Yeah. It's just the flow of it just seemed so strange.
Yeah, depending on what time marker, he was either really hurt and limping and being carried, or he was ripping people in half, and you're like,
Right.
which one is it? Which one is it? Because I like seeing Wookiees rip people in half, but I thought he was hurt.
Yeah, man. A lot of that kind of shit. That's the confusion around Chrysanthemum. I feel like that's how the whole finale
series.
felt.
The whole series.
Well, the whole show, definitely, yeah. But especially the last episode.
Yeah.
Which just was... It was a bummer, too, because I was skeptical, but we were on such a high from Mando and Luke and everybody, and I was like... Cad Bane showed up, and we're like, God damn, it's going to be a great... They finally pulled it together. I was skeptical, but then here's our favorite characters, and it's all going to wrap up. And then it was just... Oh, fuck. Come on.
Yeah, I just... no, I agree. I agree. What When I saw Luke's starfighter land,
I was about to be pissed, and then I
I
realized
was
he
about
wasn't
to
in
be
it.
happy.
Oh, really? You thought he was gonna
Well,
run
not
through town and cut people up?
that. I don't know what I expected. But when they throw that in your fucking face, you're like, oh, okay, possibilities. Let's see. Luke could be coming down, dropping Grogu off, and maybe get involved because he's there and he wants to help people out.
Yeah.
And then when it was just Grogu, I was like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. R2 took the ship back, so
Well, wait a second. Let's go into the Jedi thing because I knew he was going to pick the armor.
yeah, it makes.
I had no doubt about that, but I guess I had higher hopes for Luke doing the whole black and white Jedi thing. It's like you either have no attachments or you have your stepfather, right? Your adopted father, whatever. But then I did not expect that to resolve in the finale of Boba Fett. I thought that was like a fun little Luke scene, and now it's a cliffhanger, and then Mando season 3, they'll figure it out. Mando will have an episode by himself. He misses the kid, and then he finally shows up at like the end of episode 1 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not expect them to wrap it up already in the Boba Fett show. And don't you feel like it takes away from all of season 2 of Mando?
Absolutely.
Season 2 finale, Luke picks him up, takes him for Jedi training. Season 3 begins, Grogu's already back with Mando.
Yeah, he basically didn't get trained. He denied training. He said, no, I'll learn how to run from a probe or a test ball, whatever the fuck they call it.
He remembered how to jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
that's good. I'm good. I'm good, Luke.
Thank you.
Master Luke.
And
that's all Luke learned how to do too. His friends, he had to go help his friends. I learned to jump, Yoda. I'm good.
See?
I'll fight my dad.
Now, it would have been fun if we had more time to flesh that out and be like, oh, yeah, the fucking parallels between Luke and Grogu.
Maybe Grogu will have to face his father.
His father? Who is his father?
Yoda and Yaddle.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. That's fun.
They're banging.
They figured Darth Sidious is taking over. Dark side clouds everything. Let's procreate. They totally just ignored that. She was in episode 1, never seen again, and I don't think they talked about her like being in the Jedi Council or dying or whatever. They're just like, never mind, that was a bad idea.
They just left it be. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame him. That was a bad choice. Dude, all the mysticism around Yoda was just immediately shot to the ground. You're like, oh, there's another one. There it is.
But it's somehow not shot to the ground with Baby Yoda.
Right. We'll see.
Fuck, man. It's such a letdown.
Yeah, I didn't even write any podcast points around the finale. I knew we were just going to, because I don't want to sit here and just shit on it the whole time. There was some fun stuff. There was some, at least I'll say there was fun ideas. Like you said, the execution just wasn't there for me. But yeah, I mean, the townspeople of Freetown showed up and they helped, and okay, that's fine. And then it just all of a sudden became a fucking video game when Din and Boba were just, rolling right in front of. They were rolling right in front of the fucking.
They were doing the Dark Souls thing. They were just rolling to evade.
They were literally video gaming it right in fucking front of them. Yeah. And I was like, they will roll to the left and have a 4-second conversation, then roll to the right and have another 4. And you're like,
they did talk about quite a lot while they were in danger.
Hey, what else should we do? Roll, evade. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Roll, evade.
There was just so much of it that felt weird. The definition of the entire show is like there's so much really good content in the middle here, but it's just assembled so poorly that it like it's hurting my brain to watch in order. You know what I mean? You can go watch episode 5 by itself. There's scenes throughout the whole show that are so good. Mando and Boba fighting together and like jetpacking around and using all their fucking attachments and rockets and everything was so sweet.
Yeah.
But then they go against the Droideka 2.0 and yeah, it was just one of those things where there's a big bad weapon. It's so dangerous, but then everyone, runs away from it and no one ever dies.
They're
happy dancing. Everyone was happy dancing in this episode.
The entire everybody. Who died?
Fucking the two Gamorreans.
Cad Bane and the Gamorreans, and Cad's probably not even dead.
Probably not.
A lot of Pike syndicates, I'll tell you
No
that.
one's
They
ever
sat
really
there
gone.
for a fucking half hour and just
Dude.
pounded the syndicate. Whoever that was in front of them, it got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like how Boba Fett was about to, he's like, let's hide out in this goddamn burnt down house of the casino. I just thought there was just so many weird decisions.
That was the modders. The modders talked him into that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Because he said, let's go back to the palace. And they're like, no.
Oh, yeah. My
We're
bad. Never
stuck
mind.
here, and it's insane to stay, so that's what we'll do. And Boba Fett's like, what the fuck are these kids talking about?
Why did I hire these kids again? Gotta pay health insurance for these fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. And then he sent out the Twi'lek guy as like his little spokesperson. I'm glad he screwed him over. I kind of I expected that. He agreed too quickly to like, yeah, you can go give me my spokesperson. I was like, he's gonna write some fucking suck my balls on that data pad or something.
Draw dick on there. Okay. Also, oh fuck.
Yeah. No, that was good. Just a little awkward though. I don't know.
They set it up in my head for failure. I mean, it was. I know you like the building block, beginning plot, like setting stuff, but the early episodes, they didn't strike me. Like they weren't done well in my head. So how are you going to finish something that isn't started well? Like it's almost impossible. Like I didn't care enough. I didn't.
Should let Bryce Dallas Howard direct the finale.
See, but that was such a radical turn. Like her episode was like, whoa, this is a different show.
Right.
This is clearly a different show. And then we went all the way back and you're like, what happened?
Right.
Why didn't Bryce or Filoni do the last episode? I thought that would have been on lock. Like someone's gonna, I don't know.
Now it is like common practice for people to shuffle around directors for a show. Like it's not out of the question.
Yeah, but for a 7-episode show?
Well, I have something actually to bring up
Go
about that because I was on the IMDb for Kenobi and it says series directed by Deborah Chow, all 6 episodes.
Whoa.
And she directed 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
I might actually get a fluid series.
But I did not realize, I knew she was like show running, quote unquote. I didn't know that she was directing all 6 episodes.
See, but this is the nice thing. You can plant seeds and follow up on your own seeds in later episodes.
Yeah.
That's that shit that keeps me watching. Be like, oh, remember when he said that? Here it is. But when there's so many directors involved, the small nuances and the small storylines and the small character changes and the learning, like but I think maybe because Boba Fett clearly made up his mind plot wise, but I feel like as a character, he was still just like a jumble. Like we were told he changed it, turned the other cheek, but
right.
I felt like as a character, he didn't learn it. He just he survived, was hurt, and then survived with some Tuskens.
Yeah, it was one of those things where they just said something happened instead of showing you.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the line about the Rancor, he's like, I've ridden beasts 10 times his size. That's supposed to be like, oh, he can already ride the Rancor. But like, no, we want to see him ride the Rancor.
Right. The closest I think they got was with the Tuskens and Boba, because he did obviously like befriend that swordsman-esque.
Yeah,
Tusken.
episode 2 was great for those kind of reasons.
I don't think they even. Yeah. Well, it's also hard when they don't speak the same language. So there are some roadblocks into like character development and facial expressions and all this, because he's just going to be confused because they're just grunting at him. So he's got to be. But
I feel like they still did it well in episode 2.
I think that was the closest they got to like really developing, or at least growing who Boba Fett was, because he starts understanding from a different point of view.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest of it was like, I don't know. Fennec, go do what I should be doing, please. I'm gonna go take another fucking hot bath.
Yeah.
Also, Chris Stanton should have walked in and ripped all of his limbs off while he was in the back to tank. One big
Yes, I still hate that. That was episode 3, wasn't it?
He should have ended up like Torso Boy. Like he's literally just giblets up, and there ain't nothing else. Kurt Stanton ripped all the rest of it off.
What's your fighting style? Oh, I throw them to the other side of the room so I can't reach them.
Yeah, and then I let them get up, and then I just do it again over and over and over.
Just chuck them to the other side of the ring. Done. Chuck them to the other side of the ring. Done.
Yeah,
dude. Just weird shit. So I don't know.
Again, I'm gonna put my line in the sand. If they fuck Kenobi up, I'm gonna feel a certain way. I that's one thing that they cannot fuck up, and they need to take it seriously. I'm tired of this. Like it has to be quirky. It has to be weird. Do Obi-Wan right. Make it. You can still make it for kids.
You can make some drunk jokes.
Yeah.
Without forcing quirkiness into the goddamn.
Yeah. I mean, just dabbles of quirkiness. It can't lean on the shit, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm excited for it still.
We had no expectations for Boba Fett, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out as well as it could have. It's a bummer. There's some good content in the mix there. I feel like the book of Boba Fett as a show is not like the pillar of new Star Wars. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's not the best thing I've ever seen, like, it's a bummer having watched the finale, but I'm not discouraged with the future of Star Wars, if that makes sense.
I'm cautious. I'm not discouraged because they do have some cautious. They have some good stuff lined up. Right. Cassian, I am excited for, regardless, because I'm a huge Rogue One fan. Right. Obi-Wan's obvious. Ahsoka is fucking obvious. Right. But if they start swinging and missing with those big ones, because Boba Fett was the one that they could just get weird with, right? I'm fine with it. It is what it is. Maybe it's the Tatooine thing. I don't know. The other thing was they set up the Hutts as almost like a pivotal group, and then they legitimately just gave him a present and pieced the fuck out. Yeah. And I thought, what criminal underground crime lord would be like, nah, you're right.
Well, I thought it was a fake out.
Yeah,
that's they were going to come back. Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching Star Wars Explains recap of season 1, and that's one thing he said is like there wasn't a proper focus on the villain. It was like the mayor, and then it was the Hutts, and then it was the Pikes, and it was the Speeder Gang at some point, and then it was Cad Bane. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, it's a good point because in Mando, I know we said it last episode. Grogu was the string along. We picked him up. That's what's going to hold us all together. You can do some random stuff, but it's all about that kid.
And Moff Gideon in the background the whole time.
Right, and Moff Gideon, yeah. Well, that's what like season 2 became. Like Moff Gideon became the bad guy at the end of season 1, and then he was the continuing bad guy. Right. You're right. I feel like if there was a consistent bad guy during the whole time that Boba Fett kept butting heads with, I felt like, okay, that's what's worth it. Like he's got to overcome him or her or they or them, whatever the fuck. So yeah, it's a good point. Is what I'm fucking rambling on about.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts about the whole thing? So, and when I say whole thing, because obviously it's hard tied into Mando. So now we've got Mando season 1, 2, and Boba Fett, and you can't go on like you said to season 3 of Mando without watching Boba Fett now because it's their continuity. Yeah,
that's
weird.
Such a weird fucking choice.
It is very weird. Like you said, we're gonna start off season 3, and he's already gonna be back with Mando. And if you haven't watched Boba Fett, you're like, what happened?
But even if you have watched it, he's 2 episodes and he's back. The entire plot of season 2 was getting him to a Jedi.
Yeah.
And they undid it in 1.5 episodes of a different show. What the shit?
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm glad he's back. Yeah. I knew he would take the chainmail and be a Mandalorian.
Knew he was going to be back.
Yes, I'm with that. But fucking no.
2 episodes, yeah.
Jesus.
I guess my thoughts are, and what it feels like is Grogu goes with Luke. Mando goes and does that random bounty on that space ring, and then he's back with him. He did 1 bounty. That's what it feels like. Obviously, it could have been like a year or 2.
Yeah,
I
mean, I was envisioning that he was. I got the sense that he was looking for where the covert ended up. And he finally found them. Like he did that bounty so they would tell him where like the secret entrance was to the covert. That's the kind of vibe I got. So he could have been on that ring for a year, or he could have been doing different jobs for a year.
Yeah.
But again, we don't see it. I feel like Grogu reuniting with Mando should have been like the climax of season 3.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
You know, there. I know Star Wars. Can definitely feel goofy, and they force it in many different ways. But did it not feel really weird that the Gamorreans just were swinging sticks? Like, why can they not use a blaster? They were out in the fucking fields swinging sticks at each other, and I was like, "Is this not Star Wars?"
They got their halberds.
I don't know. That felt weird that they were just walked off a cliff.
Well, they always had axes. In 6, they had axes.
Yeah.
The Gamorreans in KOTOR, they run up to you.
Yeah.
They slap you.
They slap.
They don't shoot. They don't have blasters, man. They're too dumb for blasters.
Mm.
It was weird that they just left. I don't know. They just left them out there.
I wasn't super mad, and but that did feel like that was supposed to be the big sacrifice. Oh man, the Gamorreans died, and
You forgot.
Chrysanthemum's getting fucking murdered every other Tuesday and gets stabbed in the back with an axe, but he's still walking around ripping people in half. And you're like,
Right.
What?
Right.
I half expected it to go really douchey and have the Gamorreans fall off, and then Slave One is flying and picks them up. Like every movie does with a cliff.
Cliffhanger, baby. Cliffhanger for real.
For show.
Yeah, man. Just consensus is just weird. It's just weird.
It's weird.
Turkey Sandwich here says, when I recap and watch the Star Wars series, it's going to be Mando season 1 and then season 2 and then like 2 episodes of Boba Fett. And the rest you could pretty much leave out. Yeah, I mean, it seems like I suggested or predicted this before we saw episode 5 where Mando came back, but I was suggesting that all of the series except for Kenobi should be intertwining like a giant Thrawn saga.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like that's where we're going, but you're right. In the meantime, like there's like 3 or 4 episodes of this whole season which will just be like, no.
So I have heard some theories out there that the Mandalorian is actually Grogu.
You think so?
He chose that way of life with the armor.
Yeah, but I mean, there's multiple of the Mandalorians.
It's guaranteed he'll wield the Darksaber at some point.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be. By the time he's like a young adult, like Din's gonna be dead. Everyone's gonna be dead.
Yeah, and it's still gonna be called the Mandalorian.
I know, but he can't wield the Darksaber as a little baby. It's too big for him. I even felt like Yoda's lightsaber was too big for him.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's made for a little green thing, but still.
I don't know. All right, going on.
That's not a bad theory. I could see that happening.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel. I just, like you said, I just feel weird. I feel weird about Boba Fett. The whole series, the whole thing. There was like 2.5 good episodes that I'll probably rewatch, and the rest of it I don't plan on. I get it. I watched it once and I was like, "Yep, I get it." First episode, rolling around sand, and he survives.
You were mad about the sand. We do need way less Tatooine, though. That's for sure. And as the next show we go to is Kenobi, it's all going to be on Tatooine. But I'll accept it because it's Obi-Wan. And once that show's over, let's have cameos from Cobb Vanth once in a while, and that's it. Keep me the fuck away from Tatooine.
Yeah. 100% chance that we'll see Obi-Wan's hut, though.
True.
Oh, yeah.
True.
What if they bring that old set back?
Oh, yeah. They have to.
Yeah.
Well, they got to recreate it somehow.
It exists.
It exists. They're going out to Tunisia to do that
No,
again?
you just fly to Tatooine.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Shit.
Oh, right.
Hyperdrive? Is the hyperdrive fixed? Nubian. Yeah, where was Watto in my Boba Fett show? Come on, man.
You know, I watched the beginning of Solo the other day, and it's fun, man. It's really fun.
It's incredible.
It's nice because it's a different theme.
Yeah.
It's got its own theme the whole way through, It's different than the trilogy movies. It's different from Rogue One. Like you start right off the bat, and everything's dark and grimy, and you're like, "Ooh, here we go." And even though Worm Bitch is kooky and
That's our rock.
like it's one of the worst things I've ever seen, but because it's
Works.
happening in a crime-ridden, grimy industrial part of some crazy
Corellia.
planet that we haven't seen before, we've only heard of. It's like this is all fine. I'm fine with it. I'm learning. I'm understanding what Han's going through, and it can be weird because there's more than just weird. There's some serious shit going on.
It has an identity. Solo has an identity. It
That's
knows
it.
what it is.
What is lacking from the Boba Fett series?
It doesn't know what it is.
An
It's a bunch
identity.
of Star Wars stuff that's
It
thrown
doesn't.
into a show.
You're exactly right. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the sentence. We figured it out again.
And say what you will about even Rise of Skywalker.
It has an
I-
identity.
We critique it. I know that it's like not. It's a very sloppy way to throw together the entire saga, but it does have an identity. Palpatine's back, and he's a fucking zombie.
Yep. Yeah, like it. Yeah, like it or hate it.
Yeah.
That's the issue, and that's what we're doing.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
But you get I mean,
Somehow Boba Fett returned.
Yeah. JJ says, I was really hoping to see ties to Crimson Dawn in Boba Fett.
Yes.
They even mentioned Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, I honestly
they?
I
And-
thought they were gonna like get right up to the brink of an intense battle, and like Kira was gonna show up and be like, "Listen, this is bad for business. Fuck you. I'll pay you off. Let's do this. Keep the spice running," or something like that.
Did you? So this is all tying back because of Crimson Dawn. But at the beginning of Solo, I didn't realize that Han had stolen that speeder right at the very beginning, and she's like, "You can't do that, or we'll get in trouble with the Hutt cartel, or even sold to the Crimson Dawn." I didn't realize she said that right off the fucking bat, and then later she's part of Crimson Dawn. I'm like, "Oh, things did not work out for her." Fuck. Like clearly they didn't.
From
But
a
I
certain
didn't
point of view.
I didn't realize she said that. She planted those seeds right in front of our fucking faces. And I was like, when I rewatched it and she said, I was like, oh, right on the head, girl. You hit it right on the fucking head. I like it. But again, I agree.
Would have loved to see more of her.
Some ties, dude, it's the same thing. They planted the seeds of the Hutts and then nothing.
But now, on one hand, if he's going to become a big part of the crime world, and
Boba Fett?
involves, if he's going to become a big part of the crime world, that involves many factions across different planets. I get that you kind of have to like set the stage on Tatooine and then expand. You can't just jump right into like Crimson Dawn and Black Sun and this.
Yeah, you know how this they I mean, not that the series is great, but they could pull from this and say, hey, there was an uprising on Tatooine, Mos Espa, and some shit went down, and people are starting to fight back against the Pikes, and it could spawn. It could be the teetering of the domino. So other systems will get involved or realize other shit. So
it made a good post-credit scene. Kira just shows up, or just one thing. Kira gets a transmission that fucking the Pikes got wiped out.
There was an uprising on Tatooine. You may want to get involved.
That's how you do a post-credit.
And then she just says "fuck" and then closes the.
Not with goddamn Ludacris with a blowtorch over Cobb Vanth in the back to tank. Like that was anticlimactic as fuck.
Ludacris. Yeah, what a way to be like, hey, everybody's dead.
No.
Nope, everybody's alive. Guess what? Even sharpshooter, whatever the fuck, Cad Bane. Like they're still suggesting that he's alive because his chest plate was still beeping.
He had the heartbeat thing going. Now when they mentioned the back to tank, I thought that was going to be Cad Bane.
Exactly. I thought
getting saved.
You know what would have been fucking sexy as fuck is if Kira had saved Cad Bane.
Right.
And it pans over and you see someone fumbling around. It's really dark. You see the pod and it pans over and you see Cad Bane in there bubbling, and then it jumps up and you see Kira's face and it ends. And you're like,
Right. Yes. Now we're talking, dude. You know how the post-credit scene of Bad Batch, which I was mediocre on, like low-key brought the Thrawn trilogy into canon.
What was
It was one of the Kaminoan scientists land on the mountain that was like the cloning facility from the Thrawn trilogy. And it's like you grabbed Liza Skywalker, you tied in the Thrawn trilogy. Like that's how you do a post-credit scene. Like lead me into the next venture.
Yeah.
This was like Cobb. I already knew Cobb Vanth wasn't dead, man. He got shot once in the shoulder.
Yeah.
The deputy was fucked. Cobb Vanth was fine. We already knew that.
No, you're swing and a miss. Another swing and a miss. I didn't
I'm just gonna
care.
have to go to goddamn
Right.
Lucasfilm headquarters myself and knock on the door and be like, guys, come on.
How much did you want
Yes.
Tuskens to get involved?
Yeah.
Man, because you got to
More things.
imagine.
More things.
You got to imagine that it was only a very small group of Tuskens that he trained with and murdered. I mean, clearly they were like a group of nomads, because we've seen Tuskens like actually have towns and cities in KOTOR.
Right.
Not that that's anything yet, but I imagine it was just a small nomadic group, and
Right.
they just kind of made do. So, but still, word can get around that there's, hey, Boba Fett's helping these Tuskens out. The devil train that everybody knows is no longer there, and word can get around and be like, hey, Boba Fett made a difference. Maybe we should support him over getting fucked by these pikes. Continue, dude. It was that thing that the seeds were planted and they never. It was like, whoa, gone.
Yeah, the when they were doing the battle plans at the beginning, when they were explaining like we got these districts, the Gamorreans locked down over here, Kassantan's over here. I thought it was weird that within the entire city, they had like 7 people between them.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was strange. I was if Freetown had showed up early and they had like Tusken backup and I don't know, something else. It just felt weird that they were like 2 Gamorreans handle this entire district. Kassantan, by yourself. Go to this district and stand around a bunch of people that don't like you.
Yeah,
and keep an eye on things.
Probably gonna be maybe 5,000 people that want to murder you, but
right,
you're real big. So
the Trandoshans might try to take you as a slave, but you'll be fine. Don't worry. You have plot armor.
You have a walkie-talkie. Just yell.
Just happy dance your way back to the fucking casino. Everything's gonna be fine.
No, you're right. I thought there was actually gonna be a battle plan, and they literally were just like, "Hey, let's spread out as much as possible. That'll help things." And you're like,
right.
What?
And it all ended up happening in front of the casino, anyways.
Yeah. Dude, when the droids were shooting at the ground as the people scurried away around that corner, I thought, you guys aren't going to kill one person? Not one throwaway person who's supporting Boba Fett is getting killed. They did at the very beginning when the modders got pinned, because Fennec had to go and save their ass because she's the only one that can do anything.
Right.
She went, so there was like 2 modders that were killed when they were originally pinned.
She made it to that district fast.
She did.
Hey, Fennec, they need help. Oh, shit. I'm here. Bam.
Parkour master. She was doing flips. And
then she was gone until the end.
Yeah, where did she go?
She was waiting for the assassination attempt. She was just... Oh.
She was cutting the head off the...
No. That one actually makes sense because they were hiding out in Mos Eisley. So she went to a totally different town.
Oh, she did jump on that speeder. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a totally different town away. Okay, that one makes more sense. I rescind my complaint.
Wait. Then how did the modders get all the way back to Mos Espa?
When she rescued them, they were still in Mos Espa. They were just in a different district. But then when she went to assassinate the mayor and the Pike leader, they were hiding out in Mos Eisley. Yeah, that was another thing they explained it.
But it would have been...
They told you it.
Story writing wise in my head, what would have made sense is as she saved them, she would have got some information. Oh, did she? See, I'm already an asshole.
Yeah, she did. I can't remember
that the mayor was in.
Yeah, I think his Twilight guy told her or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It did get thrown around. Yeah.
Okay. Nope, that's my fault.
Yeah, it's okay. I forgive you. I don't forgive the showmakers though.
Pissed.
Not this time. I don't know. It's weird. It's such a fuck. There's just so many emotions at once, man. It's like we waited a year for this, and this is what goddamn it fucking. And now I'm excited for Kenobi, but they didn't show a teaser at the Super Bowl, and now with the way the Boba Fett ended, I'm just a little worried about it. You want to be excited, but it's also like, oh man, are they going to do that again?
It's dumb that it's like, it's back on Tatooine again.
I'll accept it for Kenobi, but if everything else goes according to plan, I'll accept Tatooine.
Well, is there going to be a Boba Fett season 2? I know.
I think the fact that they had a post-credits means probably, even though Cobb Vanth is more related to Mando than to Boba. But I would say maybe. Now, here's the problem. The thing they're going to do is just say, oh, we got such bad feedback on the Book of Boba Fett, we're not going to do a season 2. But what they really should do is just make a better season 2. Like, revive the show. Like, do it, I don't know, have Bryce do the whole thing. Or, I don't know, get him off of Tatooine and make a more cohesive storyline or something. Like, it doesn't mean that you can't continue it just because the first season was lukewarm.
Yeah.
Like, what they did with Solo was like, for various reasons, Solo got low box office numbers and not the best ratings of all time. It doesn't mean the movie was bad.
Right.
So if you decide to like pivot everything after that, you had one movie that was like a B+ when all the others were A+, and you're like, oh wait, hold on a second, this is not working. Like, come on, man, that's not the strategy. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I forget. I was just looking up reviews. Ooh. So the Book of Boba Fett as a series got 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb, and even on Google, who is overwhelmingly positive most of the time, got an 86.
Yeah, it's a weird one too because I was looking at the ratings by episode.
Oh, okay.
So, like, for example, Chapter 2, 8.2. Chapter 3 with the chase scene, 6.3. Chapter 5 with Mando, 9.3. Chapter 6 with Luke and Cad Bane, 9.4. And then Chapter 7 down to 7 again. So it's just all over the place, man.
On Rotten Tomatoes also, critic score is 73%, audience score is 60. So it's
Yikes.
A little further down there.
Yikes.
Oh, well.
On to the next, I suppose.
That's it. At least we don't have to wait that long. I mean, Obi's is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's a perfect break, I think. It's not too crazy long, but we do have some time to kind of decompress after Boba Fett and whatnot before we get there. What is this? Goddamn.
I'm trying to get free tits.
I'm sick of paying for all these tits. God damn it. How do I delete this thing?
I don't know. I blocked them.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's move on. Because there's some there was some stuff that dropped. So Moon Knight, I finally watched that trailer. Dude, I'm like you, know nothing. I'm super excited.
Dude,
it looks fresh. It looks fresh.
I'm ready.
It's as simple as that. It looks fresh. I don't know anything about it. It looks fun. Poe's in it. Fine. Sign me up.
And the new trailer at the Super Bowl had a couple extra scenes in it that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
It looked fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. Moon Knight has a little bit of Egyptian mummy-esque looking stuff, and I'm like, yeah, fucking throw it in there. I'm fine with that.
I'm ready, baby. I'm ready. Yeah, I'll switch focus back to Marvel for a little bit while we wait for Kenobi to come out. But yeah, Moon Knight, and then Moon Knight's coming out in March, so it's soon.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
And then Doctor Strange, man. Did you ever finish watching the What If animated series?
I did not.
So you should go back and each episode stands alone except for the finale. So you should go back and just watch the Doctor Strange episode of that.
Okay.
Because I didn't think anything from What If was going to tie into the actual MCU. I thought it was like a fun little side project.
But with a multiverse, anything can.
True, but they are pulling threads from the Doctor Strange storyline into the movie. So that's exciting to see.
Yeah, yeah. The other one, which this is the one that like punched me in the fucking gut. Like Moon Knight looks fun. Mm-hmm. Lord of the Rings looks great, and I am hyped for that. Doctor Strange looks super fun. Jurassic World Domination. Did you watch that? Did you watch the whole fucking thing?
Not really, honestly. I've been tuned out of it since we saw that first one in theaters. I was kind of like, blah, blah, blah.
Dude, they bring everybody back.
Of course they are. That's what everyone's doing. I know. He was in the last one. I saw the trailer.
Was he?
Yeah.
Man.
That's what they do now. Everyone's back.
They also
They're just
have
they're just gonna kill them off, and then everyone's gonna hate it, and then
they brought back the original scientists too from the first one.
oh, for real?
Grant and the lady and
Shit.
Hondo. What's her name in episode 8?
Oh, Holdo.
Hondo. Yeah, so Holdo's in it and Dr. Grant. Yeah, so there were some nice ties. You know what really
kids back?
I didn't see. Maybe
They'll probably show up.
Yeah,
Steven
they have
Spielberg
to.
back?
Guaranteed. You know what I saw on there that really was like, dude, I'm fucking excited, is I saw other dinosaurs, which sounds so stupid, but in the original one, all we got to see was T-Rex, Velociraptors, and we saw like that sick dying Triceratops.
Like
Those
in the
were
very first one?
Yeah, well, and we see the lizard with the flaps, I guess.
They had a lot of just big open shots of a bunch of dinosaurs.
That's true.
But it
No, you're
wasn't
right.
they weren't like up close and personal, except for the
You're
T-Rex
right.
and the Raptors.
You're right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, kind of just wide sweep, because there's that one where the Brontosaurus eats off.
Yeah.
And then they do travel in herds. So that's kind of, yeah.
There's a Triceratops that's like injured and they have to help it.
Yeah, she's sick. Yeah, she's pregnant. She's sick. Yeah, I mean, I guess that shoots my theory down. But what I was trying to say is, in the trailer, we got to see a lot of those dinosaurs in action. There was a Triceratops like charging someone like a bull, and I was like, dude, yes, that's what I fucking want to see. We see a pterodactyl attack a helicopter, or it must have been a plane, attack a plane, and I was like, fucking yes.
Okay.
Like pterodactyl Triceratops, they put feathers on the raptors, so Dr. Grant's theory was right that they started becoming birds.
Ooh, nice.
There's a lot of small little things. I was like, dude.
Well, chicken is a dinosaur, right?
That's the title.
Sounds...
The title of this episode is "Chickens Are Dinosaurs," right?
It's a weird thing to say, but I think that's the closest
Chickensaurus Rex
link. It's either, I swear to God, it's chickens. I swear to God. Hang on.
Yeah, well, that's the whole theory, that a lot of them lost.
Chickens are dinosaurs.
Chickens are dinosaurs. Guaranteed.
Chickens are... I can't tell if this is goddamn satire or not. Chickens are directly descended from T-Rex. That's just someone's blog. That can't be real.
Joe Rogan talks about that. Oh yeah, chickens are ferocious. Oh
I
yeah,
get all my knowledge from them.
That's where everybody doesn't.
From him. They're little savages.
But they kind of bring that all the way around, and
I don't want to research it. It'll ruin the magic. Chickens are dinosaurs.
Chickens are
So
dinosaurs.
yeah, Dr. Grant was right. Chickens are dinosaurs. Yeah, man, we saw the first new Jurassic World in theaters, and I thought it was corny, so I did not watch the second one, and I'm not up to date. So I saw the trailer last night, and I just kind of like ignored it really, because it wasn't like that geeked about it.
See, I was watching it. I watched that one, and that one was like, ooh, yeah. Man, take a peek at it after. I think it's actually a pretty long one. It's like 2.5 minutes. So
I'm gonna have to dive back in. Shit.
Yeah, check it out.
I thought I was free. I thought I was safe.
I also
too many franchises.
Just like 2 weeks ago, watched the first one, so it's kind of fresh on my mind. And seeing a lot of those things pop up, I was like, oh, you.
Was it better than when we saw it for the first time?
What, the original
Jurassic World? Oh, sorry, you watched the first one.
So that's what I'm saying, because they all the callbacks are from the original one. So I was like, this looks fucking nice.
Nostalgia, baby. That's all it is. Wonder what kind of Jurassic Park movies they'll be making when our kids are 30 years old.
Cretaceous planet.
All right.
I'm just letting you know. That's what I'm writing.
Crustaceous. Well, should that be the title? Crustaceous Planet?
No, Cretaceous.
Cretaceous?
Cretaceous. Crustaceans planet.
Crusty.
No, because Jurassic Park technically should be called Cretaceous Park, because all of the dinosaurs are not even alive in the Jurassic era.
I don't know that much about history.
I used to know more.
Speaking of history, I started playing Civilization on Xbox.
Which one?
6. Civilization 6. I was asking all the degenerates in the WhatsApp, like, I want something that's like Age of Empires, but without the war part. I just want to focus on like building and like resources and research and stuff like that. They threw out a couple things, but Civilization was one of them, and it just happened to be on sale, like the special fucking bonus extra ultra edition value supreme plus.
Yeah.
So I got that. I've been screwing around with that. It's cool. It's like a very board game setup. It looks like Catan. There's like tiles and it's turn based. So, but it's fun so far, man. You get to pick your civilization. You pick a leader. Like every civilization has like a main leader, and you start in the Stone Age and you fucking go all the way through. It's cool.
Oh, nice. The Civilization I played was just like a board game.
Yeah, exactly.
It was, but I don't even remember liking it. I don't know which one I even played, but it like started in Europe and it had everything in like hexagonal areas, and I would go to one and attack it, and then it would kick me back, and then I was like,
I didn't like it at first.
This feels super slow, and like I'm all for a slow game, but I felt like I was getting nowhere, and I was like,
yeah, I definitely had to get used to it, because if you go thinking Age of Empires, which is real-time strategy, this is like turn-based strategy.
It's turn-based, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, once you get through the tutorial and everything and it makes sense, it's fun. Everyone's got their bonuses, like you can be America and then you're Teddy Roosevelt, and like you get bonuses for like being on your own territory and whatnot. But there's a lot of historical figures in there and cool shit. So
I used to being a history major, I used to love just doing like YouTube videos of verses, and this is super random, but
the rap battles of history?
I watched one. It was, what was it?
Rap battles of history?
No, that too. But
you said verses.
It really would. It would be like George Washington versus Napoleon, like unrealistic, fictional battles, and they would go into who was better hand to hand, who was better at planning, who was better at commanding, who was better.
That sounds so silly. It sounds like those Screw Attack videos, like Superman versus Batman or whatever.
It was legitimately that Screw Attack, but it was like historical figures. So
Abraham Lincoln versus Genghis Khan. I want to see that.
Genghis has got it.
Probably, yes. Just impale everybody.
It's just, yeah.
Shit.
Unless he's got Kersantin.
Have you seen Spider-Man yet? I'm going to ask you that every week.
Anyone else have any questions?
You're behind on Marvel. You got to see Spider-Man.
Yeah. I forget what I watched the other day. Nothing.
The Boba Fett finale, is that forgettable? I forget what I watched. Always.
I do. I've been watching random shit. Very, very random shit. I tried watching God damn it. Clockwork Orange the other day, and that was super heavy.
I tried watching that like a couple years ago, and I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
You know, I explained it in my head very, very well. It's A Clockwork Orange is a very weird movie. And trying to put it plainly in my head, it's very opposite clashing themes that they just force into a movie. So it's like classical music and like dancing, like the dude dances around, but also rape and murder. And it's almost like futuristic, but also retro. And it's just like a weird concoction of stuff. And it's not even like there to make you feel one way. It's there to make you feel. You're like, whoa, this is weird. Whoa, I don't like that. Oh, this is kind of fun.
Right.
Oh, there's like, I don't know. It feels childish and adult all at the same time. Like they're like singing and dancing and then
wearing masks and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
They drink milk.
They drink milk after a good, house invasion.
I wonder if I would like the novel more than I would like the movie. I've always wanted. There's a bunch of movies that I would really like to read the novel of, and I have a big long list. Like Silence of the Lambs is one, Clockwork Orange is one that I bet I would like the book more.
The Shining.
I did read The Shining like last year. Yeah, it was really good.
Random one I didn't even get all the way through because I never finished a book, but it was really good. Was Christine, which is it's a weird movie to begin with, but the book actually does add quite a bit. Because obviously the Christine, the car's supposed to be haunted, but they go into like the car, like actually talking to him, and there's like a demon involved, and you're like, whoa, this is a lot more spacey than the movie. So
yeah, there's a lot more weird stuff in The Shining than there was in the movie, in the book than there was in the movie. That's what I mean. Yeah. Messed up. And bro does not spoiler alert, doesn't die in the book. The caretaker, the guy that is kind of telling Danny that he has to shine as well. He doesn't
Yeah.
die in the book.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel, picks up with Danny trying to like control his powers, and he calls the caretaker and he's like, I need help. I can't figure this shit out.
Oh.
And then fast forward, spoiler alert, and then he's an alcoholic just like his dad. Then he has to deal with that shit too. So it's pretty dark.
I do have to watch that. Doctor Sleep. You gave it like a very mediocre review, and I was like, fuck.
No, I hadn't seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Wait, I'm confused. How did you know what it's all about then?
The book. I started reading the book. After I picked up The Shining, I started reading the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to watch it. Well, the issue is wrapping everything up. I've already seen those movies and liked them so much, and they're so unique, especially A Clockwork Orange. Like visually, Clockwork Orange is very, very unique. So when I read the book, all I'm going to be thinking about is the movie, which is not always a thing. You want to build your own universe in the book. So it's
yeah, it depends on. It's hard to know until you jump in and start reading it, but sometimes that's better. Like I watched Game of Thrones before I ever read those books, and I'm glad I did because it helps me visualize Westeros and everything a lot better, even though there's a lot of things that are different in the books. So I liked it a lot, and I saw The Shining before I read that book. I felt like that was a good transition. So if you're looking for a book, maybe go with that one.
Okay. We're watching South Park. That's the other random thing. We started from season 1, and this year's season 25.
Yeah, I just started. I just watched the first 2.
Okay, children.
Fuck, it's a crazy show, man.
I love
so
it.
Good, so smart.
I've never like sat and watched it. It's one of those things that, like, in a hotel room, I'll put on Comedy Central like during a funny movie, and obviously that'll end, and it'll just transition into South Park. So I'll like fall asleep and wake up to South Park. But I've never like just watched the whole show. So we started from season 1. We're already in season 2. So
nice,
just powering through it.
Enjoy. They're short.
They're nice. Yeah, it's very edible episodes.
You know what I actually put on? So like, I always have a background show going, and I was looking for another one, and I just didn't feel like doing The Office or Always Sunny or whatever. So I actually put on a playthrough of Ocarina of Time. And I've just had that on the background. I've just been watching Zelda and Link on Ocarina of Time. It's been nice because I don't have a copy of that and I can't play it. And I probably wouldn't want to play it through the whole thing. I would probably get nostalgia and then I would get bored. But I'm watching the playthrough and it's nice.
That is a ridiculous statement because I did the exact same thing with another game. And
synergistic brains, dude. I'm telling you.
I'm blanking on the game. It was literally like last week.
What did I watch the other day?
God,
we watched Mario or something?
No, it was something that I had like played, but not all the way through. So I wanted to watch someone play it. Oh man, it's not gonna be here. Fuck. Yeah, I did the exact same thing. That's a ridiculous statement that you just threw out there. Because
how long was the playthrough though?
It was like 2.5 hours.
Well, because the Ocarina one is like 13.5 hours.
Oh wow.
Because it's a longer game. So you know, you can keep it on for, I don't know. We'll see how long it takes. A week or 2. But
let me Google this. Hold on. Play through.
Google.
No, this isn't it.
Bummer. Well, if you think of it, text me. Post it in the group chat if you think of it.
Oh, The World Is Not Enough.
The game?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Some of the guys were talking about that.
That's what it was.
Man. I do have nostalgia factor heavy for that game. That was fun, dude.
Someone mentioned it, and I was like, I played that game.
Yeah, I had it on PlayStation. It was. I feel like I might have played that more than GoldenEye. Honestly, I might have.
I played one. I think it was for the original Xbox.
Oh yeah, there was a really good Bond game for that. It was out for GameCube as well. It's called. Might be called Nightfire or something like that.
Oh yeah.
The multiplayer, they had like a couple things from like GoldenEye and World Was Not Enough and whatever, but it wasn't based off a movie. It was like a whole brand new thing. Oh no, I know what you're thinking of. Me and you and Dustin and Ryan played that. We had we rented it for the original Xbox. We played the shit out of that game. It was another one where it wasn't based on a movie. It was a whole new storyline. Oh man, think of that. I need to watch that playthrough because that's nostalgia.
Agent Under Fire?
It might have been it. I remember we had a whole weekend where we were bouncing back and forth between that and Tony Hawk. Just nonstop. We were like, go Caddy, and then we were Tony Hawk and fucking James Bond back and forth.
I think it was called Agent Under Fire. That's what I'm coming up with. Full gameplay for PS2 and Xbox.
Damn, man.
That must have been the game I had.
What a throwback. All
Wow.
right, I'm going to add that to my YouTube watch list. Nice. Yeah, man, they know what to do. Just throw up some nostalgia. Everyone's happy. Jurassic World, Star Wars, everyone's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
You might as well do it too.
All right.
Cad Bane, what a bitch. Man, if they don't bring Cad Bane back, I'm gonna be. The idea of
we haven't talked about that actually.
The idea of it is great. Of having Boba Fett be the one to kill.
Oh, I thought that was perfect.
Oh my God, I misspoke. So I did watch that playthrough. Sorry,
I did watch the
playthrough of 007, but it was the original Phantom Menace game.
Ooh,
that was the game I started watching a full playthrough because it's over 4 hours.
I don't think I played that one.
I played it on PC.
Nice.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Good shit.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Oh, Cad Bane. Yeah. We didn't talk about in our whole rant about the finale of Boba Fett. We did not talk about their little duel.
I think the biggest, my favorite character out of Book of Boba Fett was Cad Bane. I'm gonna say it. He felt true to himself. He did some badass things, and he made some questionable calls. That's all. That's what he sounded great. He looked great. He was in the right situation. I can see him backing the Pikes because the money's in it. And him button heads with Boba Fett. Everything around Cad Bane, him taking out Fennec, or not Fennec, him taking out Marshall.
Marshall
Mathers. And his deputy, fucking perfect. Everything around Cad Bane was perfect. Even his death. Even his death was the idea of it was great. The execution of it,
I thought was great. Of all the things I had to complain about in the finale, that is not one of them. I thought their duel was perfect.
You thought the duel was perfect. You thought the gaffy stick murder was
perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I didn't know how to feel. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. But yeah, it just makes sense. You're right. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about it. I didn't expect it, to be honest, which is kind of weird because they spell it out so well that you're like, oh yeah, clearly now he's going to use his gaffy stick.
Well,
and I had completely forgotten about it because he was laying on his back, and I was like,
and this is the thing that I was just about to complain about because we spent 2 episodes completely away from Boba Fett that you almost forgot about the gaffy stick and the Tusken Raider backstory
altogether. Yeah.
And it's not like that was intentional to like kind of catch you off guard with the way he kills Cad Bane, but yeah. I wasn't thinking about that because again, they pulled focus away from the main character for so long. But no, I thought the way that he took him out was great. Calls back to his training with the Tuskens. That's the whole reason he's turning away from that life in the first place. Very poetic. It was nice, yeah. And I think the way that they played Cad is like, if you've watched the Clone Wars, then you know the backstory, and that's awesome. And if you haven't, then he's just this mysterious stranger that comes in, and he's a badass, and he's a plot device, for lack of a better word, for the main character to learn his final lesson.
It's weird because he felt like the main villain.
He did for a little bit. I mean, he just has an imposing presence, you know what I mean?
But why?
And we know because we know his backstory. There's a lot of weight behind him for Star Wars fans that have watched the Clone Wars. So as soon as he shows up, it's like you know all of that backstory without having to think about it. They don't have to spell it out for you.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
It's not all good. It's not all good. We spent an
Well,
hour and a half saying it's not all good.
everything's good with Cad Bane. I am okay with it. And if they did, or if they really are truly killing him off, I mean, that's kind of a fun way to do it. To me, it sucks that it has to happen in the Book of Boba Fett. But
well, the nice thing is that they can easily have more stories with him that just happened before he passed away.
true, yeah.
Like it doesn't mean Cad Bane's not happening in live action again. There's opportunity there, but as far as like him being, he's old, and knowing him and Boba's history and everything from the Clone Wars, I feel like it does make for a very poetic ending.
He also knows how to push buttons. Like the character of Cad Bane knows how to. He's a killer.
Yeah,
he's a very efficient killer. And he doesn't give a shit. Everything's about the money. But he also, like, when he was up against Boba Fett, knew how to push his buttons.
Oh yeah.
Oh, even you bought that shit that the Swoop Gang was the murderers, and you dumb bitch. It's basically what he said. And Boba Fett's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was hoping, the more Boba Fett scenes with his helmet on, the better. I'm just saying it now.
Yeah. Turkey Sandwich was saying that too.
I completely agree with Turkey.
Thanksgiving, not Thanksgiving. I agree with Turkey.
Yep. Black Friday, it's turkey time. Warm that shit up.
All right, we gotta go.
No, I agree. It sucks. I don't know what it is. Is it Tamir Morrison's acting? Is it the lines that he has to say, or is it simply that the helmet is so badass that you can get over the weird acting and the weird dialogue, and you're just like, you know what? He could say, "Let's go play with Play-Doh and scratch our asses." When he has that helmet,
that's how they should have opened up the show, really.
Okay, guys. We appreciate it. Yeah, let us know if there's anything else we missed, because honestly, there was a lot of trailers that got dropped. I know we didn't really even touch on the Multiverse of Madness, but it looks fun. I'm excited for that.
I'm hyped for Doctor Strange.
And
Wanda's back. So
yeah, see, those are the two most unique characters in Marvel to me. Like, those are the two wild card characters. So throwing them together, I'm like, whoa, like anything. Absolutely anything's possible.
Well, yeah, with all the magic and everything, like Jesus.
Exactly. But
now you got to watch. You got to catch up though, before you see Doctor Strange.
What do you mean catch up?
On Marvel in general.
What is
Spider-Man, Eternals?
Spider-Man, Eternals.
You don't need to watch Hawkeye. I mean, you should, but you don't. It doesn't tie in necessarily.
Shang-Chi.
But like we were talking about, the tone of Marvel was all like military and Iron Man and Winter Soldier and Falcon and blah blah blah. It's expanded so much since everything started back in 2008 and even after Infinity War, that with things like the Eternals and all of like the magic and time travel shit with Doctor Strange and Wanda, I don't know. I have no clue where it's going to go, because they can do literally anything.
Yeah.
It's going to get pretty crazy, pretty fast. So
that's the fun thing, man. I agree. Those are the two wild card characters to me. Everything else, everyone else is limited and has like a box around them. Like Cap, he's fun, but he's a soldier. He's limited. Iron Man, it's all tech, but he's a tech guy. Then there's no super strength or anything. But like literally, we can like travel time. He could invert someone's intestines. Like, we could get fucking weird. Is there a spell that just make your enemy shit themselves and they're like, fuck, I gotta go change. I can't fight a war with a dump. Who's gonna fight a war like that?
Some people wouldn't give a damn.
Dude, it's like,
people could wear diapers going into battle just in case.
Dude, I've seen some random YouTube videos of like people starting fights in like the hood, and he'll pick a fight and then he'll just strip down naked and run at the guy, and no one fucks with it. No one fucks with it, because you're like, dude, this guy's nuts.
It totally throws you off, man.
It's a good tactic. So if Doctor Strange
I'll remember that next time I get jumped.
D-pants everybody. He's gonna win. Hey, giblets. All right, cool.
This is the giblets dimension.
The giblets dimension. All right.
291, everybody. 291. Thank y'all. Cheers. Recording stopped.
But that. I always have to play Spotify
There it is.
for the audio. I can't sit there in silence.
Same. Yep, I got it rolling in the background too. Save. RSP Cody 291. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hog Diesel showing up at the end. Hogor. Tommy Boy. Loveface.xyz. Man, the best gifts. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So that was a love letter.
It's fucking ass. Oh man. Yeah, dude. Get to I don't know when Spider-Man Digital comes out, but
I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting for it.
yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. Tell your cat to fucking chill out.
Fucking chill out. He got the message. All right.
Nice.
Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
Ooh.